going on? But my name is Awads, and welcome to Rainswept. Now, this is a detective-style game. Now, in this detective-style game, what you're going to do is, you see, why am I doing this? I don't know. What you're going to do is, there's some rumors going around. And the detective here, he's got to figure it out. He's got to figure out if there's some substance to these murders. So, he's going to go undercover. I'm just kidding. He's not going undercover. He's a detective. But what he's going to do is, as he follows along on this murder and figures out some real substance to the case, some of his past gets brought up and really chases him along, follows him, you know what I'm saying? So here we go. Let's check it out. The controls. I don't really remember that much, but we're gonna figure it out. See? October 7, 1996. I have no control yet. No! Kill himself. Music by Mick. That is a Ford Crown Vic. Victoria, if you're curious. I like this little art style too. I just like games like this. Look at those hands. Look at those muscular, no-fingered hands. Wow, I just got a cold chill. Oh, he's smoking a shiggy butt. Don't do that, kids. That's wrong. It's not wrong, but it's not healthy. Like the smoke that came out of his missing mouth. Rainswept. Ooh. Listen to that thunder. Thunder. Feel the thunder. It's a heavy storm. Back down the audio a little bit again. Press E. Alright, I'm here. This is gonna be his voice. Time to see what all this is about. Look at them. Oh, look. Look at those little legs. It's like a Coke can being held up by chopsticks. Oh. They've been looking here. They've been here for a while, looks like. Now, why would I do that? I don't know why you'd do that. Terrible. What? I said terrible. Terrible business, all this. Pah! This is only a matter of time. Everyone knows that. I know. Still, they were so young. Young and stupid, you mean? The stories I've heard. I guess you're right. It was just a matter of time. What? It was. A matter of time. It's really coming down today. We should get back home. A few more minutes. I want to see what happens. Nothing's gonna happen. I'm gonna catch a cold, that's all. We should question the locals. That's the way inside. I wonder if Chief sent me all the way to Pennu for this case. Only way to find out. Whoopsies. Now what's he up to? Suspicious. Ma'am, you need to stay back away a little. What's happened here? A murder, Johnny? Get under the umbrella. Granny, I want to leave. Can I go back to the shop? Could see this coming from a mile away. Ma'am, please. Granny, please. All right, Johnny. Let's go. There's no point in standing here now. I don't remember the voice I gave her. I knew this would happen. We should have done something. Everyone knows that something is going on here, and I'm the only one that's left out of the loop. There's nothing we could have done. Chris is responsible, I'm sure. It's hard to disagree, but let's not speculate. Detective Anderson, right? The chief's inside. He's been waiting for you. You need to control the crowd, officer. You need to push the crowd further from the scene, officer. What? You'll have to speak up. I can't hear you over the rain. The crowd. Handle them. You could be evidence out here. Oh, yes, I'm trying. Hey, Williams, what the hell are you doing?
Trying to prop this tape up, sir. It won't stay.
We'll get some sticks and drive 'em in.
Yes, sir, Richard.
Don't call for Richard. Richard's on leave. Do it yourself. Goodness. Oh, he was yelling for Richard.
Richard!
Sorry, Detective. Thing is, we're short of manpower here. Weren't prepared for this kind of thing. First time in decades. And to top it off, rain out of nowhere.
Just get the crowd under control. I'm heading inside.
Yes, Detective, don't worry. Richard, I mean Williams.
Dun 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 dun.
Should I go in? Let's have a little look around. Nope, I wanted to...
It's a murder scene. Oh, God. That's the sheriff. I should talk to him first.
What kind of voice should I give the sheriff? Should I just give him my normal voice?
Huh?
Oh my God, what's happening to him? Ah! Detective, are you okay?
I think so, yeah. Guess I'm just a little tired after the long drive here.
Detective Anderson, right? The head office called in to say that you were joining us for this investigation. I'm Sheriff Harris, and this is Lieutenant Watt. We appreciate the department sending help, but I don't think we'll need it. This case is already to be wrapped up.
What do we have here?
The victims here, Christopher Green, age 26, died from a bullet wound to the head. Looks self-inflicted. Danny Miller, the age 24, single bullet wound through the abdomen. The victims lived together, were unmarried.
The weapons? Any witnesses? Time of death? What is the time of death?
According to the next-door neighbor, a single gunshot was heard around 1500 hours. So, that is, for you who don't know, 12:15. AM, yeah. We received the call at about 020 hour. 02000. Why are they doing this? And we're here in another 5 minutes. We found them dead upon arrival and confirmed the timing.
Any signs of an intruder?
No signs of a forced entry. The door was locked from the inside when we arrived. An officer climbed through the open window here to the door. There are no footprints outside that window. Except to the sheriff's. Except the officers. He was careful. No signs of a struggle marks on the bodies either.
The weapon? What do we know about the weapon?
Both shots were fired from an M1911A145 caliber pistol. The ballistics report will let us know more.
Any witnesses?
Just the next door neighbors who claim to have heard a single gunshot. We can interview him shortly. Okay. So they heard one single gunshot, but she is a shot and he is a shot. So unless she, laid up against him... Honestly speaking, Detective, we think it's pretty obvious what's taking place here.
What do you mean?
They had a reputation. They weren't exactly a happy couple, this whole town knows. Diane was shot at point-blank range with Chris's gun, probably by Chris. He then went ahead and shot himself as the wound is clearly self-inflicted. So you see, sending you here unnecessarily complicates things. Question their abilities, remain silent.
I'm beginning to think it was a very good idea, in fact. It's obviously a case of murder-suicide, Detective. So everything's already figured out. So we've got things all figured out already. Out here already, huh?
That was sarcasm. I'll ignore it, but yes, more or less.
Are you suggesting there was domestic violence involved?
It would seem so, but it was never reported. But that doesn't mean it didn't happen. So, rumors. You may call it that, but there was smoke. There's a fire. I'm not sure that... And they were never really able to fit in this town. They were new here. Moved in about 6 months ago. Are my things flipped? No? Okay. Never got out much. Didn't make any friends. We don't need to analyze the obvious, Detective. That would only be inefficient. Officer Blunt will assist you through the course of your work here. Hello, Detective. Oh, it's a woman! I was giving a funny voice to the guy over there taking pictures.
And, one thing. Well, looking to wrap up this case quickly and cleanly. We don't want to drag it out if it can be helped. We have an important festival coming around this week's time. So you might say this is a rather bad timing. So there's no need to go around complicating things, alright? Just give me a story that works, we can close this case quickly. Okay. Okay. Good. I shall see you later. Goodbye. Okay then. Anyway. Have a look around. If you'd like to, come talk to me when you're done. Hey, detective. Need any help? What's the plan? Have a look around the room. Once you're done, talk to Lieutenant Awads. It looks pretty old. It can hold 7 rounds. There are 4 rounds still in here. That means 3 shots were fired from this gun at one point of time. If 2 were fired last night, when was the 3rd? Was it used on some other day? That gun belonged to Chris, according to Lieutenant Watts. Let's assume Chris or Diane weren't the ones to use it. Is there anyone else that could have known where they kept the gun? From Pineview? I really doubt it. Remember, no signs of forced injury. Could it be someone they were comfortable with or trusted? No one I can think of. Bullet wound to the head. The skull's badly damaged. Most of the side has been blown off. His body position and the way he fell would indicate that he was sitting sideways in the chair, facing where Diane's body is now. The angle of the shot indicates that the shot was from this side. If someone shot him, they were standing in front of the refrigerator. No clues there, though. He could have been shot through that window. At the moment, it's shut. Let's get it checked for fingerprints and footprints outside. Good call. Could someone have entered and left through here? We should have the fingerprints results in a couple of days, Detective. Don't forget, there aren't any footprints outside. If someone shot him from outside, then Chris would have sat facing the refrigerator. That would make sense. That way, the killer would need to enter the house. But in that case, who shot Diane? Examine hand. Gunpowder residue on his hand. Hard to disagree with the lieutenant here. This is strong evidence for a victim shooting himself, unless it was made to look that way. This chair's fallen on its back. Looks like Chris fell off the chair before or after being shot. This is interesting. .45 ACP rounds, a box of 20 rounds. There are 13 here, which means 7 are missing. 2 were used last night. The 4 are left in the gun, as we saw earlier. If 2 were used last night, there's still 1 unaccountable for. Was that the one used some other day? Red wine. Looks like a new bottle was opened yesterday. No one drank from this glass. It would seem that Chris was sitting by himself at the table drinking wine, waiting for someone to join him. Probably Diane? Whether he was waiting for her or someone else, we don't know yet. A glass of wine was knocked over. This looks like wine, but there seems to be blood in here as well. How did blood splatter in this direction? It doesn't make any sense. Officer Blunt, I think there's been more than 2 gunshots that we're seeing. Not very professional. I hope they know what they're doing. What's this? Yeah, what is that? It says like Chris 96. It's signed Chris 96. I'm guessing Chris built some of this furniture around this house. Hey, detective, need any help? Oh, okay. So there's some very interesting points being made here by the detective. He knows what he's doing. Shall we proceed? Yes. Yes, I'm done. Alright, let's have a chat with Mr. Willis outside. This was not a murder-suicide. The rain has finally let up. Right, this is Mr. Willis. He lives next door. Coffee detective? No, thank you. We don't need it. You can ask him any questions you may have about last night. Right, Mr. Willis. Can you tell me everything you saw or heard during last night's events? Well, see, I headed off to bed at around 11 p.m. I usually do after a glass of whiskey. Helps me sleep, you know. Anyway, somewhere around 12:15, I'd say, I was woken up by a loud bang. I ran to my bedroom window that looked straight at their place. And what did you see? Nothing. Their kitchen lights were on, but that's about it. I went to my phone and called Lieutenant Watts here straight away. How long did it take you to get to the window? Once you heard that shot? About a couple of seconds, detective. No more than 5, I'd say. I nearly fell in my bed when I heard the shot. You might say I was halfway there already. Did you see anyone on the street at all? Did you see any activity, sort of activity on the streets? Anything unusual? No, detective. Everything was exactly the same as always. And you said you heard one single shot, correct? Yes. The whiskey usually knocks me out pretty good, so if there's been more, I didn't hear them. Move to other questions. Do you live alone, Mr. Willis? Yes, I do. Nigger got married. It's a sign. Long story. One meant to be talked over, a couple of whiskeys, you know what I mean? Can anyone confirm your whereabouts? Nope. I was just at home, you see. Am I a suspect? It's a procedure, Mr. Willis. I know Mr. Willis. He's cool. We'll need to have a talk later, Lieutenant. Talk about what? Just later, okay? Okay, Sherlock. Whatever you say, Mr. Holmes. Snicker. Did Chris and Diane have many visitors, friends, etc.? No. No, not at all, in fact. And all this time, I only maybe saw Jack coming over to fix their car. Father Smith came over a couple times, and they'd newly moved in. You're back almost. Nah, people rarely ever visit them because they were mostly kept to themselves, see? They never made any friends here. But sometimes folks don't like those kinds either, you know? So I can't really say. Know what I mean? No, please elaborate. You won't find anyone crying over their deaths here. Nobody really knew them. They never got out too much. Any other information you'd like to share? Is there anything else you'd like to share with us, Mr. Willis? I don't know if this is useful, but you might have heard about Chris and Diane. They looked pretty happy when they first moved in. More recently, though, I heard Diane crying a couple times, usually late at night. See, the whiskey knocks me out so early, maybe that's why I never heard all this before. But a couple of times I was up later one night, about a month ago, and I heard pretty bad things. There were some loud noises, like stuff being flung around and such, see? I heard some crying, I was thinking to myself that maybe I should call the police, but then it quieted down all of a sudden. We never received any calls for domestic violence, but people often... Oh, this is the police officer. I don't like him, so we're going to give him an annoying voice. We never had any calls for domestic violence, but people have often talked of stories of this kind. Can you remember when you heard this, Mr. Will? Well, I was up late night writing an important letter. I think it must have been somewhere between 1st to 3rd of last month. 1st and 3rd of September. Alright, anything else? Nope, that's all about it. Right. Thank you for your help, Mr. Willis. We'll be in touch if we need anything else. No problem, and thanks for the coffee. Mr. Willis seems like a good dude. I don't know. He seems suspicious. This game is sweet, by the way. So, Detective, you said you wanted to have a talk with me. Is now a good time? Yes, Lieutenant. Please don't tell the witness they're not under suspicion, especially not in front of them. So, basically, you're telling me that I don't know how to do my job. Is that it? Sigh. All I'm saying isn't all wrapped up as you'd like to believe. How can you see what's not right in front of you? It's so obvious. Mr. Willis didn't do anything outside the house after the gunshots. There are no signs of anyone forcing entry either. On top of that, considering how rough things were between the two of them, you heard that, Mr. Willis, right? Are you seriously jumping to the conclusion, Lieutenant? What has it been, barely an hour since the murder? Do you think there's enough data to form a conclusion? Mr. Willis's account only forms part of a complete picture. This isn't enough. Well, what about the door, huh? How do you explain that it was locked from the inside? Explain that. I checked the door. It locks itself from the inside when you pull it closed, regardless of whether you pull it from the outside or push it from the inside. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm saying there's no conclusive evidence yet. Well, fine. Dig as deep as you'd like, Detective. You won't find anything new here. I was perfectly capable of handling this case by myself, but of course, the head department had to complicate things. In any case, Sheriff Harris will probably want to wrap up this case before the festival, so don't expect him to wait for more than a week. I have to head to the station now. Officer, escort Detective Anderson to his hotel.
Will do, sir.
We'll come back in the evening to search the house, letters, diaries, things of that sort. Alright. Officer Blunt, she's onto it. When can we expect the autopsy results? Day after tomorrow, according to the coroner, but I'll confirm to let you know. Thank you. I'm guessing there were more than 2 bullets shot last night. We should take another look around the kitchen to make sure. 3 bullets? But, We're actually glad that you're here, you know. Although the sheriff and Lieutenant Watts would rather not admit it, even to themselves. This is like the first murder here in the last 100 years or so. We have no idea how to deal with it. I mean... It's alright. I know what you mean.
I just joined the force a month ago, for instance, and a murder already? I'm not sure if I'm ready. That rhymes. She can spit rhymes. I kind of knew them, you could say. I never know anyone that's been murdered before, you know? It's kind of weird, a bit sad. I know as an officer I'm not supposed to feel that way and all, but...
You'll be fine. Give it time.
Thanks, Detective. That means a lot.
What do you know about Chris and Diane?
Well, not much. It's mostly what Mr. Willis said earlier. Nobody really truly knew them. I'm adding some dialogue. They came in here, kept to themselves. You'd hear stories about them. Everyone thought they were some kind of weirdos. I admit it, I kind of agreed for the sentiment. With that sentiment, I feel bad about that now. There's no reason to make assumptions about people's character, and character cannot be used as evidence. So I'd really like to help figure out what really happened in the story, whatever it may be. What's this festival next week? I'm very curious. The sheriff said there's a festival in town next week. What's that about? Oh, it's an annual thing. We have it every October. There's a fair on the market streets. There's food, rides. We got a lot of tourists from nearby states around here. It's a good source of revenue in some of our smaller businesses here. That, of course, is less important than the light of recent events. Good to hear you say that. Of course, we can't go around trying to wrap up cases based on assumptions, whatever the situation may be. I mean, there were people's lives at the end that ended. And it's our job to figure out what really happened. So I guess what I'm saying is you can count on me during this investigation. Thank you. End of the dialogue. Let's speed away to the hotel. I'm hoping the local police will let me do the job if it's sent to do, though. I don't mean you. Detective, I know what you mean. Honestly speaking, Sheriff Harris is an asshole. I'm serious. He doesn't care about anything except running off home and taking it easy. This case has probably ruined his plans to relax and go to the festival next week. I hate people like that. Lieutenant Watts, though, he's really sweet. I know he comes across as a little obnoxious, but...
Oh my god!
What just happened?
I saw her. She was right there. Why am I seeing her? Why am I thinking of her?
What is happening?
Tar shovel. Wonder what Jack uses them for. How's the car looking? I don't know.
Ask Jack. He's working on it. Talk to me when you're done.
Alright.
I must have thrown it off the road or something. My poor car. Sure would.
You look kind of uncomfortable. Don't you need the car to be on a ramp or something?
Nah, man, you worry too much. Well, the headlights and the bumper were gone. You'll need to have them replaced. I'm going to have to check if I replace parts so I can fix it. How long will it take? A couple of days, 3 maybe, depending on how quickly I get the parts. Shouldn't take more than 4 at most. Oh boy. Hey dude, can you fetch me my big red wrench? Should be on the toolbox outside. Yeah, that's it. I love this wrench. Thanks, bud. That red convertible, is that yours? Yeah, man. 6.5 Mustang. Love that ride. I got it used for pretty cheap off a guy who couldn't take care of her anymore. Luckily, that car's got something that keeps it running like new now. You? You're pretty smart. Yeah, it's got me now. Spend all my free time on her, fixing her up, making sure she runs better than new. And I keep her baby by the law. I keep her happy by taking her on long, beautiful drives on the roads outside of town. What's with the tar shovel? Got a shovel and some tar there. What do you use those for? That dude. A little bit of construction work on the side sometimes, you know. Fixing up driveways, stuff, for some extra cash. Detective, you're here investigating Diane's murder, right?
And Chris, yes. Do you have any information that could help us?
I don't know about information, man. I just know what he did. What do you mean? Chris, he killed her.
Why do you say this?
Everyone could see it coming. Diane, they say she was troubled, scared of him even. Someone in this town should have done something. We all knew this would happen. But no one cared enough about them to bother interfering. How do you know all this? I don't know. Rumors around town, mostly. Do you know Chris and Diane well? Not really. People here barely did. See, everyone has this common sense no one knew them, so that's interesting. They were not the type to come out and
make friends with new neighbors, it looks like. They still felt like outsiders to the rest of us. What were you doing last night? What was I doing last night? Yes, that's what I asked. Oh, right. I drove a couple miles from here and drank a few beers, and I enjoyed the view. At night. Yes, the stars, man, you see? Was there anyone with you? Did you meet anyone? Nah, man. Nothing like a pleasure of your own company sometimes. Alright, thanks for your help, Jack. We'll be back if you have any more questions. Of course you will. What do you mean, Jack? For your car, man. Come back when it's fixed. Yo, you get way too serious, way too fast, man. Chill out. Sorry, dog. Sorry, home dog. Jack's Auto Repair Shop. Jack's the guy fixing my car. Hey.
Hi.
Are you okay? But are you okay? I didn't read any of those. I don't really know why. I stopped reading. I was really intent on reading it. I didn't read it out loud. But are you okay otherwise? I mean, I don't know you, so I don't know if this is a regular thing. No offense. No, that's okay. I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, you collapsed back there at the crime scene too, and then this. Yeah, I don't know. I've been a little dizzy all day. Maybe I just need a nap. Seeing this kind of stuff kind of bums me out. I'm just saying, if there's anything wrong, you talk to me about it. Don't hesitate. I won't. Detective. Yes, Jack?
How can I help you, Jack?
I'm gonna drive to the next town for some spare parts. Want me to drop you at the hotel or something? I'd like to take a walk around town first, actually.
Called up the station from Jack's phone. A car is on the way. They'll drop us off at the Market Street and you can look.
You take care now, dude, until we meet again. Okay, Jack. You seem like a good man. Alright, I'm going to finish this here, and then I'm just going to continue rolling right through into the next episode, but I don't want like an hour-long thing. So if you like this video, smack the like button down below. Make sure you, do all the good things you need to do. Like, comment, subscribe, share, blah, blah, blah. This game looks really interesting, really, 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 really fun. I'm really excited. I'm going to continue right now. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm not going to tell my camera to shut off, because I'm not going to shut it off. Bye! What's going on, bub? If you like this video, do yourself a favor and join the Awads squad by hitting the subscribe button down below. If you like vlogs or car stuff, go ahead and follow my other channel, All the Wadsworth. Link is in the description for that. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.